Betty was hoping he didn't get picked. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. There's a proper time and a proper place for everything. In the school ground, in the middle of the day, is neither the proper time or the proper place for kissing. May the 28th, 1977, this was a lesson that I learned, and I'll let you decide if it was worth it or not. I was all of 12 years old in the summer of 1977, and myself and 3 other couples, Keith Pinkney with Prince Ellie Kelly, James Brown with Rosemary Pinckney, Kenneth Green with Sheila Albany, and myself with my first crush, and alas, my first kiss, Tina Obie. We planned for this for a week because this was the last day of school before the summer in Beaufort, South Carolina. So for those of you who have never been to South Carolina, if you ever decide to go, the springtime is the time to go to South Carolina. It is the most beautiful place and the most tranquil, loving atmosphere in the world. At least that's how I will always remember this day. But the funny thing was, in the middle of this kiss fest, 4 couples, all of 12 years old. So how many people have children here? 12 seems really young now, right? You couldn't tell me that day that I wasn't a man. A grown man that knew everything to do about kissing. And right in the middle of this kissing, of course, what happens, we get busted. The janitor was beating the rugs and, saw that we were kissing, and he reported us to the principal. So in what would seem like a horror now, there was corporal punishment in schools in South Carolina. And I heard a couple of ohms and ahs. It wasn't really that bad. It just meant that you held your hand and probably got tagged like everybody else that went to Catholic school back then too. Except that this was a Catholic school. And I remember going to our principal. I'm here, Mr. Davis. Mr. Markham, do you know that this is not the thing to be doing in the middle of the day in school? And I was like, yes, sir. And I was like, I couldn't wait to put my hand out because it was so noble that I was going to suffer for my love that I wasn't going to see for the whole summer. And unbeknownst to her, I was moving to New York. Because back then, mothers didn't ask you. They told you. And my mother said, Anthony, at the end of the school year, you're coming to live in New York. So I put my hand on and I got, I stood there proudly like I'm suffering for my love. Go to class. And I turned around and I walked to my class and I thought it was done, but it wasn't. Because my teacher, Mr. Tootin, had this brilliant sentence for me. He said, Anthony, you need to write 1,000 times that there is a proper time and a proper place for everything. And the school ground in the middle of the day is neither the proper time nor the proper place for kissing. So I'll let you decide if it was worth it or not. I turned 55 this August that just passed. And I was 12 years old when he told me this sentence. And I've never forgotten one word of it over all of those years. Yes, it was worth it. Thank you very much.
So I have in my hand here the final storyteller of the evening, which means this huge bag of names. There's many of you that didn't get a chance to tell your story tonight, I know, there's still one more that's going to get to, I promise. That's the way it goes. So if you didn't get a chance to tell your story, we're going to invite you onto the stage after this final storyteller to tell us your name and the first line of your story. Just give us a little teaser. And then our next slam is coming up, and I will tell you exactly when that is. It's at the Bell House, I believe, next week, but I'm going to finalize all of those details when I come back, and you can hopefully tell your story there or at another time. Anthony Markham, I love your story. I love making out. Did a lot after the situation with the braces and everything else happened. I did find a boyfriend, and I remember it is like there's something about that early making out where like you just want to do it everywhere. And all I did for one summer, I had this boyfriend, his name was Anthony Frizzoli. I didn't want to kiss him the first time because he'd just eaten peanut butter pie, and I thought that was gross, but I did, and I liked it. So we would just go with this group of friends. We'd go out every night in that summer, and Anthony and I would just, whoever was driving, we never drove. We refused to drive because we were assholes, and we would just sit, and whomever would drive us in their back seat while they drove around and made out. Like, what jerks? Like, people would always be like, we don't want to drive, Kate and Anthony, and we'd be like, you're gonna, and then they would drive around. Then we'd go to Eden Park, because I'm from Pittsburgh, and we'd order like fried appetizers and then make out again. Anyway, it was great. So the 10th storyteller, after we get some scores, is going to be Lisa Delaportas. Lisa Delaportas, I'll call you up to the stage in a second, Lisa. But I want to get through some of these slips that you guys gave us. Tell us about a time it wasn't worth a dime. Received a call back to be in Mark Ruffalo's new TV show as a secretary. Oh, I love him. He's so sexy and socially conscious. Was told they would give me a professional haircut. The lady cut 3 inches off unevenly, then waited 8 hours only to never be put on the show. The worst part, Mark Ruffalo wasn't even there. Not worth it. Tell us about a time it wasn't worth a dime. I drove to work on a snow day because staff must report I was told to go home as soon as I arrived. Not worth it. Okay, and then this is going to take you to a different place. Tell us about a time it wasn't worth the time. Was wearing my favorite lace panties. Well, okay, I guess, I thought that was sexier than maybe other people thought. Like there's lace panties on a hierarchy. Was wearing my favorite lace panties going out, ended up at a guy's place. It was summertime, so I was wearing a short dress. The guy ripped the panties with his teeth. Needless to say, my bike ride home. Let's get some scores. Let's get some scores for Anthony Markham. Our 2 cents. Our 2 cents, what are we going to do? 9.4.
Whoa.
Cadillac, 9.0. And $1 Million Babies, 8.8 for Anthony Markham. And let's keep going for Lisa Delaportas, our final storyteller.
You did it, bro.